Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain a concept titled market targeting. These are all a few details about me related to my career. At the end of the video, if you like my video, give a like to the video and do subscribe my channel as well. Market targeting. Market targeting is a process of evaluating each market segment's attractiveness and selecting one or more segments a company can serve better than its competitors. After segmenting the consumer product market, the very next step a company could do is market targeting. It's nothing but evaluating each market segment's attractiveness. After doing so, selecting one or a few or all the segments a company can serve better than its competitors. That's the idea. So this step enables a company to choose which target market, which target segment it has to target using its marketing offers. There are three stages a company could follow in choosing the target markets and its coverage strategy as well. First, let's look at the process of evaluating market segments. In evaluating the market segments, a firm must look at three factors: segment size and growth, segment structural attractiveness, and company's objectives and resources. Let's get into the detail of each and every point. Segment size and growth. The company must collect and analyze data on current sales, projected sales growth in the particular segment, and expected profit margins for each and every segment. It is brought out of the market segmentation process. The companies will be interested in segments that have the right size and growth characteristics. The fastest growing segments are not always the most attractive ones for every company. Perhaps smaller companies may not have the adequate resources, skills required to meet out the demands of such segments which are growing very fastly. I would firmly say that the fastest growing segments will demand for more and more of investment all the time. It may not be possible for smaller companies to put in such huge amount of investment every time. Might be okay for large companies to get into the segments which are large as well as growing very fastly. That's what the idea. And the second point here, segment structural attractiveness. Long-run attractiveness includes an assessment of current and potential competitors, the threat of substitutes, and the power of buyers and suppliers. I would say a segment which has got a very few or smaller companies which emerge as competitors, that's okay, we can name it as an attractive segment. If you find a segment where giant companies are marketing their market offers, I'm sure it is not an attractive segment. So a segment with less competition or no competition is said to be an attractive segment. What about the threat of substitutes? Any segment where you find the existence of substitutes for your product is perceived to be a less attractive segment. And similarly, if you find the buyers are vested with huge bargaining power, they will tend to dictate terms with the companies. And many times, companies have to fluctuate the prices for its marketing offers based on the demand or the pressure from the buyers, because they are vested with the bargaining power. So in which segment you find the buyers are vested with a higher amount of bargaining powers, such segments are named to be less attractive segments, not to be chosen by a company. And similarly, if you find the suppliers of merchandise, the suppliers of raw materials, which are required to produce a product to serve a particular segment, if such suppliers are vested with a higher amount of power, dominating power over our companies, such segments are named to be less attractive segments. They can have equal power with our company, but they should not be given with more power. This is the idea behind the power of suppliers. Companies' objectives and resources. Even if a segment has the right size and growth, a stable growth, and is structurally attractive, the company must consider its own objectives and resources. The mission and the objectives of the company are to be given the first priority. A segment which you choose for could be more profitable, but the way you should follow to serve such a segment to earn the profitability you have decided for is against the values or principles or objectives of the company. You should ignore such segments. The principles, the values and the mission of the company are more important than profitability. You can't make profit through any means by practicing any activity. That is not going to give you sustainable growth for a company. And similarly, when you talk about the resources, you check out whether your company has got the resources to serve a segment. If a segment demands for the resources which are beyond the affordability, the economic power of a company, please ignore choosing such segments. Some attractive segments can be dismissed quickly because they do not mess with the company's long-run objectives. Or the company may lack the skills and resources needed to succeed in an attractive segment. I remember the basic reason for the birth of a South Korean company is given in its mission. Beating Japanese is the mission of the South Korean company. After choosing the mission, which is the basic reason for the existence of the company, the South Korean company, can it collaborate with any Japanese company in the future just to maximize profitability? No. The mission is more important than profitability. That's the idea I keep explaining under this point. The second stage, after you evaluate each and every segment you have brought out of your segmentation process, you move to the second stage, which is nothing but selecting market segments coverage strategy. Here, you select the strategy by which you are going to cover the segments you have chosen. How you are going to cover. That's what we are going to discuss here. The first coverage strategy available for any company is undifferentiated marketing. What's the meaning of this strategy? The strategy uses the same marketing mix for the entire product, entire market. That means what? For the entire product market, it could launch only one particular version of the product. There are no varieties. There are no customized versions of the product. One particular variety of the product for the entire market. Perhaps this was the coverage strategy practiced by almost all the companies in the past, when they were using the production approach, or the product approach. The second coverage strategy available for a company is differentiated marketing coverage strategy. This strategy targets several market segments and designs separate marketing mixes for each of them. See, for example, a company has brought out 10 different segments out of segmentation process. After evaluating each and every segment of the 10, it has decided to target 4 segments, ignoring the remaining 6 segments which do not fulfill the set criteria of the company. Now, what about the 4 segments it has decided to target for? For the 4 segments, it has to come out with the 4 distinguished marketing mixes. Marketing mixes means it has got a combination of a product, pricing strategy, promotion strategy, and distribution strategy, uniquely meant for the particular segment. So it has to come out with the 4 different marketing mixes which are tailored upon each and every segment uniquely. That's what about the idea behind differentiated market coverage strategy. And the next one is about concentrated or niche marketing. This strategy commits a company to pursue a large share of one or more sub-segments. Niching lets smaller companies focus their limited resources on serving niches that may be unimportant to or overlooked by larger companies. Many companies start as niches to get a foothold against larger and more resourceful competitors and then grow into broader competitors. It's very simple. Instead of running behind the competitors, giant companies, then finally you fail in your venture in competing with them, you better target upon selected portions of a few segments. Nirma followed this strategy and it emerged as a very successful company following this particular concentrated marketing. What it did? It concentrated upon the price conscious customers in the geographical segments of urban, suburban and village areas. It targeted upon those people. It first segmented its market based on geography, the geographic orientation, segmentation which I explained in the previous video. After doing so, it targeted upon almost all the segments but not the whole of all the segments. It selected sub-segments in each and every segment. In the urban segment, it opted for customers who were price conscious and price sensitive, who wanted to get more for less. They want to get more value but for paying lesser price. So such customers were targeted upon by Nirma in the beginning, and it really established its brand value among such customers, and followed by it gained popularity, and it really enabled the company to compete with the larger companies in other segments. So slowly it diversified into other segments as well. And the fourth coverage strategy available for a company is micro marketing. This is a practice of tailoring products and marketing programs to suit the taste of specific locations and individuals. Micro marketing includes local marketing and individual marketing. What is that? This is more customized, a very narrow approach. You go very closer to the target market and target them using more customized market offerings. Like for a particular city, you take a city or you take a particular area as a segment. If you find you can come out with a customized product meant for the consumers in that particular locality you've chosen, you can take it as a separate segment and go for manufacturing and marketing such customized products. And similarly, every individual could also be treated as a segment. If you want to place an order for a birthday cake, You are allowed to give your priorities, the flavors, the colors to be mixed and all the stuff, provided you are ready to pay the amount they charge. The letters you want to write on the cake, the message which you want to, write on the cake, like that. This is what about that individual part, that individual customer the cake is made. Therefore, that individual customer himself is a separate segment. That's what about individual marketing. Now, the third step in market targeting is choosing. After you discuss about the 4 coverage strategies and their meanings, now you decide how to choose a particular target coverage strategy, target market coverage strategy. Companies need to consider many factors when choosing a market targeting or coverage strategy. Choosing the most appropriate coverage strategy depends upon a few aspects. 1. Company resources. When your company is blessed to have a good amount of resources, financial and non-financial resources, I am sure you can go for opting differentiated market coverage strategy. If required, you can go for micro marketing as well. Following undifferentiated market coverage strategy is suicidal when you are blessed with more resources as a company. The second one is about product variability. If you are dealing with a product which could be brought out with versions, varieties and styles and give unique appeal to different group of customers, I am sure you can go for differentiated market coverage strategy. If that's not possible, if you are unable to come out with the varieties and choices in the product, that's the nature of your product, definitely you have the only alternate, that's nothing but undifferentiated market coverage strategy. And the next point of consideration here, product's life cycle stage. If your particular product or a brand is entering into the market as a new product, it is there in the introduction stage of its life cycle, I am sure go for undifferentiated market coverage strategy. You don't require to come out with the varieties in the product. Slowly when it gets into the growth stage, you can think of what? Bring out choices, different flavors. When it moves to the maturity stage, I am sure you can do your level best targeting many more segments with more customized marketing mixes. There you will definitely follow differentiated market coverage strategy. Similarly, when it comes down in its life cycle, reaching decline stage, obviously again cut down the varieties and versions of your product. You follow undifferentiated market coverage strategy when it moves to the decline stage of its life cycle. So depending upon the stage of life cycle your brand belongs to, you decide about the market coverage strategy. And the next one is about market variability. What is that market variability? The people are having varied needs and preferences with regard to the product you deal with. Different preferences and choices people want to have in the product market. That's the nature of the product market you are dealing with. In that situation, certainly you can go for differentiated coverage strategy or even micro marketing. What about the next one? Competitors marketing strategies. What is a competitors marketing strategies? When your straight competitor, a direct competitor has opted for differentiated market coverage strategy, you are also forced to go for following the same strategy. When they are following differentiated coverage strategy, you can't think of undifferentiated coverage strategy. You have to move for something better than what the competitors have opted for. You cannot be left behind in choosing a strategy comparing that of your competitors. You can't simply ignore competitors as well. You should be like a watchdog as a marketer. Keep watching what's happening with the competitors. Then only you can really match your strategies with theirs, or you can plan out your strategies something better than that of the competitors. This is a mantra of success in your marketing venture. So with that, let me wind up this video. I hope I have explained all the important concepts related to market targeting, how a company can choose one or a few segments and how it can plan out the market coverage strategies meant for the segments it has targeted for and all. So thanks for watching the video. We will meet in another video with a new topic. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel and give a like to this video as well. Thanks for watching.